Did I upload a video this year?
Girl, trust yourself.
Do it for the love and I do it for the likes. I really do want to get back into making consistent YouTube videos, but with a different intention, a different perspective, and a different type of journey. So if you're new to my channel, don't worry, you probably found me at the right time. My name is Taasha Reneé. I'm the founder of Vulnerable Mom, which is a platform that inspires and encourages moms to be able to be authentically themselves and share their story and their experiences. I am in a space of navigating a new healing journey, trying to get to a place of wholeness so that I can continue to fill my cup and pour into you guys. For as long as I can remember, I've always had some part of my life or my journey or anything that I've been experiencing, and I've always like found a way to document that. And I feel like I don't go back enough to see all the things that I've experienced to see like my growth. I feel like sometimes I'll just come and I'll sit down and I'll share what I'm feeling and I'll post it and I'll keep it moving. And then I don't realize how often I could be in the same position where I'm feeling the same way, but not necessarily taking the time to go back to see what steps I took to get out of that funk, or just basically to recognize how far I've grown from where I've been. So I always feel like I've doubted myself in a sense where I don't know what my purpose is, or I don't know what I should be doing. And in reality, I know deep down what I should be doing. And I think for most of us, we really do know what we should be doing. And what's more important is for us to, I just got this pillow yesterday, so I just want to show y'all.
Girl, trust yourself.
So I am trying to be in a season of trusting myself more. I don't know if you guys have been following me on Instagram, but recently I just uploaded a video of me boohoo crying. And it wasn't really intentional for me to be boohoo crying, but with my vulnerability and with me usually sharing my story, there's always certain parts of my life that it doesn't hit me until I'm actually like saying it out loud. And I'm just like, oh gosh, Tasha, what are you crying for?
There was a time when I didn't even think I could become a mom. Wow, what the hell? I never knew what kind of mom I wanted to be. I honestly really didn't think that far. I just wanted to get to a place of actually getting pregnant, and that just felt impossible. Until one day, I began to share my story out loud. I took to YouTube to vulnerably share my feelings of wanting to become a mother, and from that moment, a shift began to happen.
So there's a competition going on with the Stan Store. And a Stan Store is a platform that helps creators to monetize their God-given talents. And so I saw an email like 2 weeks ago, or like I saw an email like a week ago, and they were talking about the giveaway. And the giveaway basically stated that they would pay a year's worth of your living expenses. And the whole reason behind that is if you could dare to dream by having your basic expenses paid for, what would that dream be? So I took some time aside to write down my dream, to write down what life would look like if I were to get my expenses paid for. Now, in that video, I got super emotional because it had me really thinking that for as long as I can remember, I've always had some kind of struggle.
I resented the fact that I was carrying a load so heavy from trying to make ends meet, taking care of the house, trying to find myself, cleaning up after others, creating a business, and I felt no one could see that. Yet not once did I speak up about it. Stuck on the fact that as inspiring as people said I was, I felt like I had absolutely nothing to show for it. But why is it so hard for us to see our gifts when others can see them in plain sight?
And I always felt like I didn't have the necessary tools or the bandwidth or the knowledge to be able to like be better, right? Because I feel like I've never really seen it. But at the end of the day, we know that success is not a product of where you live, because there could be people that's rich next to you and you have people that's poor next to each other. All of us that are from their various like upbringings, that we all are in community, we all are around each other. So it just really goes to show that success is not a matter of environment, and it's not a matter of like your circumstances. It really is on the individual, and it really takes that person to say, you know what, it stops here. And although I don't have the knowledge, although I don't have the tools, there's nothing to say that you can't achieve that or you can't get it. So in my story, I was basically just sharing that I've struggled so much with my finances that I feel like I don't even have the capability to dream because I'm so stressed about having a roof over my head or providing for the family or doing all of these things. And although, yes, I am a stay at home mom, a lot of that weight is on me as well because while my husband is outside working to provide for the family, I am the one that does a lot of the heavy lifting when it comes to paying these bills and managing the finances and and realizing like what goes where, what needs what, and it's a lot to try to dream and try to think of something that you want to do bigger and better when in reality you still feel stuck. So I applied and I entered into the giveaway and with all intentions to be able to be vulnerable and to share my story. So, what I really wanted to say in this video, I really just wanted to express my gratitude to all of the people that shared comments in that video. So, one of Stan's missions, their mission and their value is to empower transformation, build a community, and to help others. And I feel like throughout a lot of my journey, that's something that I am always passionate about. So I asked people in my comments that if you've ever been touched or inspired by any of my journey, any part of my story, to leave me some encouraging words below.
Please leave me some words of encouragement or share how I've helped you or inspired you in any way in the comments. Your girl is just trying to fill her cup first and understand that I can only serve you from an overflow.
And I just wanted to do that so I guess it can give me a little bit of leverage so Stan can actually see the community that I've built and so that I can also see the potential in myself because sometimes I do get discouraged when I feel like, okay, am I even doing enough or am I even enough? And the way that y'all poured into me from those comments, although I have not even had the time to sit down and actually respond because as you can see, to me, I personally feel drained. Y'all words really touched me. It really uplifted me. It really gave me the encouragement to know that I really should not be playing small. I really should continue to trust in myself and know that I am needed out there in the world. I am here for a purpose. I do have a mission out here, and people do see value in the stuff that I'm sharing. However, like I said in my video, and I can play part of the video in here if on YouTube you've never really seen the video, but I did say that I really want to continue to pour into myself because if I don't pour into myself, there's nothing for me to give to other people. And right now I am in the season of trying to pour into myself. I'm in the season of receiving so that I can continue to fill my cup so that I'm able to serve you guys from an overflow. You know how when you say you want to pour into yourself, right? I think what's important is to pay attention to the container that you have that you're trying to pour into. So maybe the container that you're having could possibly have holes in it. So although you might be getting poured into, it could have a slow leak where whatever they're pouring into, it's leaking out that nothing is actually contained and nothing is actually staying inside that container. Either you plug the holes, right? So that when things are pouring into you that it can stay, or you change your container completely and get a different foundation, a different container to start pouring things into. So I'm in this process right now of trying to figure out, do I need to plug my hole or do I need to get a whole new foundation? And that foundation that I'm speaking about is my faith. With all things, if we don't put God first, if we don't have the faith that everything is going to be okay and everything is already aligned and everything is already mapped out for us, if we don't have that faith to know that we have a bigger purpose out there, we're always going to be chasing that next thing. We're always going to be chasing the fact that, oh, I need to be here, or I need to be achieving something else. But if we don't have, like I said, that proper foundation, then we'll be going back and forth aimlessly. And I feel like a lot of my journey has been that, where I know that I have a purpose, but because I didn't have that complete faith in Him and in myself, I felt like I just been trying to hold on to something that wasn't, there was no substance there. So I am on this journey of wholeness. And for me, wholeness, and I could probably just like get a definition, but for me, wholeness is everything that deals with my mind, body, and soul. Little backtrack. I've been reading this book called The Science of Getting Rich, and I've actually been reading that daily for the past couple of months. And it's wild because sometimes I don't read it, and when I do pick it back up, it keeps me in the right mindset to know that Tasha, you need to keep going. And the more that you stop, the more you get stagnant, and you are not in a position or a time right now where you just need to be keeping still. You need to continue to keep going. You need to continue to have that faith. You need to push through. You need to move forward because you understand where you have been if you just don't do anything. And I'm tired of not doing anything. So My journey of wholeness deals with my mind, body, and soul. And this all goes from the science of getting rich. I actually took from me listening to the audiobook, I wrote every single thing that I got from the book into this. So instead of me having to listen to it all the time, I can just go into my notes and just get my summary or just like get more fuel for myself. I'm gonna start sharing some of these tidbits on here, but I do want to encourage you to take a look at that book if you feel like you're in a position where you're feeling stuck, or if you maybe feeling like you struggling in any kind of like finances or anything. It's really trying to help you to get to the mindset of how you can get rich, right? But richness isn't necessarily just having the money, but yes, having the money allows you to be able to get the things that you need. You can't live a full life unless you are rich, because you will be able to pour into other people with your richness. So going to backtrack, talking about my mind, body, and soul. One part of the book that stuck out was that we live for the body, the mind, and the soul, and we can't deny either one of them. So, for your body, that means feeding your body good food, comfortable clothes, having warm shelter, rest, and recreation. The journey to wholeness for me in my body goes to what I put in my body, right? I feel like I have not been the best at my health when it comes to what exactly am I eating. Y'all know, and if you don't know, I'll tell you from now. I am not somebody that's always in the kitchen. I don't cook. I don't do nothing to do with the kitchen. My husband is the one that's really always the one that's feeding us, and I feel like I want to do better. I've told myself so many times that this year I'm going to do better, but 2025 I need to stop saying that I'm going to do better and actually do better. So that goes into what am I putting into my body. So if that means I need to take more cooking classes, I need to watch recipes and actually make stuff in the kitchen, that's what I'm going to do. And not just going outside and buying fast food because it's convenient and I know that I can't cook. The more you say that you can't do something, the more that's going to come to you. So I can't say that I can't cook. I can cook. It's just not something that I'm passionate about. But I'm passionate about life, and I'm passionate about my breath, and I'm passionate about waking up every single day to be able to pour into others. And that starts with what I'm putting into my body. If I am depleting, if I'm not feeding myself well, then how am I going to be able to give others a better version of myself? Like I said, good food, comfortable clothes. Like right now, I mean, it was a little cold yesterday, but right now it's about 65 degrees here in Florida. It's supposed to be the sunshine state, and we out here cold. So even having comfortable clothes, warm shelter, like I know one of my cars, the AC wasn't working. So thankfully, we're not in summer where I need the AC to be working, but just to be able to have some kind of our basic needs. And that's another reason why I put myself into the giveaway, because I can't focus on all these other things. If these basic needs, I feel like I'm trying to figure out how to provide for myself. We can't deny any of these things. So like I said, make sure we're having enough rest. So going to bed at an adequate time, waking up at an adequate time, making sure you at least get at least 7 to 8 hours of rest and not just feel like you're running off of fumes. Like making sure that you're actually sleeping and not just going to bed on the phone, or not waking up and just jumping on the phone. Like actually having a proper routine to be able to fuel my body. So for our mind, my journey for wholeness goes into your books, having opportunities to travel, making sure that you take time for art and beauty, making sure you have time to study, and having intellectual companionship. I could go to the library. Like I haven't been to the library and God only knows when. I actually went in St. Croix, but not really to like look at books. Instead of me feeling like I have to go to Barnes and Nobles to buy a new book, or go on my bookstore or my app to buy a new book, I can go to the library. I can get a library card and rent books out. So why am I not doing that? So I definitely want to do more with like learning more and stimulating my mind, having opportunities to travel. So opportunities to travel don't mean that I have to go to a different country and break the bank to try and doing that. There's so many things around us that we don't feel like we take advantage of, especially living in a place that, like, even if I'm in Florida, there's people that come to Florida and they enjoy so much. Oftentimes when you're in the place that you currently live, you don't find out a lot about what's around there. People always go someplace else instead of taking advantage of all the beauty that they have in the place that they currently live. So I definitely want to take more advantage of exploring more and learning more about where I'm at currently. Intellectual companionship, and that really just means to surround myself with people that can elevate my mind. You really are a product of the 5 people that you spend the most time with. And if you are subscribed to my Patreon, which is my platform that gives you a lot of exclusive content on motherhood, Caribbean experiences, I share a lot on my Patreon, and I shared that on one of my vlogs where I talked about me feeling that I'm a little bit stagnant because the people that are around me, I don't feel like I'm growing around them. I feel like the people that are around me are mostly like children. So I'm not getting that kind of intellectual companionship because I'm the only person that's around me that's hungry for growth. So I really want to surround myself more in a capacity where people are smarter than me, people have achieved more around me, because when you surround yourself with people that have more, you in turn become more. And there's a statistic that said, like, if you surround yourself with people that are high achieving, your likelihood of achieving more is greater. But if you surround yourself with people that don't want to do anything, even just by being in their capacity, even in just being in their space, your productivity can go down like 30%. And we ain't trying to do that. We don't want to be around people that ain't trying to do anything. That's the wholeness of my mind. And then for your soul, and that's just like your life purpose. Like, how do I want to share more love? How do I want to give to more people? And my journey to wholeness is to have better relationships. And whether that's going back to therapy or to really just like continue to stay rooted in my faith and learning more about God and learning more about how I can give back to others, that's definitely a way that I can feel like I can journey more into my wholeness. This journey to wholeness is to focus, like I said, on my mind, my body, and my soul, and to focus on each aspect of that, not all at once, because usually a lot of times when we feel like we need to be doing so much at once and say like, okay, cool, I'm gonna wake up at 5 a.m. I'm gonna go work out. I'm gonna drink a gallon of water. I'm gonna journal every night. I'm gonna read my Bible every day. I'm going to take time for myself twice a week, or all of these different things. And yes, all of that is possible, but it's not possible to do all of these things if you're not already doing them all at once. And it's more important to take one step at a time instead of finding a way to try to completely overhaul your life and do so much all at once. Yeah, that's really what I wanted to share in this video. I think I wanted to let me wrap up and see exactly what I want to say. One, I wanted to make sure that I express my gratitude. So if I didn't completely share it, I want to say thank you, thank you, thank you so much. Like, thank you so much to everybody that responded to my Instagram reel and poured into me and allowed me to see the value of my authenticity and the value of my vulnerability. Because really and truly, I realized that not everyone has the courage to be able to speak up for the things that they're experiencing. A lot of times they don't have the comfortability to say, hey, I'm not doing well in this area. So I just want to thank you guys for pouring into me, because it's definitely given me the encouragement and the motivation to continue to trust myself and know that I am needed, and to know that I am valued, and to give me the inspiration to keep going so that I can continue to elevate myself and elevate you guys as well. So, one, expressing my gratitude. Gratitude for all things. Gratitude for God for even giving me this platform and giving me the voice to be able to just like come on here and freely just be myself. At the end of the day, I can't be nobody else but me. And the more I realize that, the more that you stay into that mindset, the more that everything is going to open for you. Like, I can't do nothing else but be myself. So, the people that gonna find you. So if you found this video and you've already been following me, hey girl. Or if you just found me, like, welcome to my platform. I just can't wait to continue to learn, grow, and elevate with you guys. And I don't come from a place of big status. Just know that we are gonna figure this out together. I don't matter where you are in a journey, there's always something that we could always learn, grow, and get better at. Two, I want to tell you guys that I am on this journey to complete wholeness in my mind, my body, and my soul. And that starts with my container. My container is my faith and trying to understand exactly where that lies. I grew up in the church, right? I grew up in a church. My family has been raised Seventh-day Adventist for as long as I can remember, right? But I do feel in some aspect that the church failed me. And I think I should just make that for another video, because I've already been recording for quite some time and I want to make a complete different video on like my faith journey and exactly what I want to put out there. It's not like I'm going to share every single aspect of it, but I do want to be more vulnerable and talk about how God is working in my life, and how I'm going to use myself as the vessel to be able to share the things that he's putting in me to share out. And yeah, continue to follow the journey. I really just want to be as vulnerable and as authentic as possible, because that's the only way that I know how to be. And I'll definitely continue to look back to see how far I've come. If that's something that you're struggling with right now and you feel like you're at this point where you don't know what's next for you, I feel like it's really important to just take a step back and to look back. Just look back. I ain't said to go back. I said to just look back. Look, realize that the place that you are right now, there's so much that you've overcome. There's so much that you have learned from, and use all the things that you've learned, use all the things that you've experienced as a lesson to continue to keep forward. There's no reason to stay stagnant. There's no reason to just not do anything. Because if you don't want to do anything, what's the purpose of living? Life is meant to live, and we're all here to learn from each other. We're all here to grow together. And I just want to do my part in the world for as long as that I'm here. So with that being said, thank y'all for tuning into this video. Thank you guys for watching it all the way through if you did that. And continue to stay tuned for my channel. Subscribe if you're not already subscribed. And I'm going to see you in my next video. Love y'all. Bye.
Going through my content inspired me so much because I am that girl. My energy is infectious. My content is raw, real, and authentic. And the way that I encourage others through my story is a gift.